Good evening and I welcome you students. Last time students we have discussed with you the P block elements group 13 elements. Now we are coming with another important class of compound group 14 elements. Students, you are aware of the group 14 elements. It's very important group. What is so important about group 14 elements student? Group 14 elements. What do we know about group 14? First thing that they belong to which block? Students, which block are the group 14 elements?
P block.
P block elements. That means the outer electrons will be entering into the P subshell, into the P subshell student. And you are aware of that one of the most important element student, most versatile element is which one?
Carbon.
Carbon is the most versatile element. Carbon. Why it is the most versatile element? Can you tell me, student, what is the importance of carbon in our life, student?
So the basic importance is that it occurs in living organisms.
Living organism. Carbon cycle is also there. You are aware of it, student, that carbon is the element which is forming millions and millions of compounds, organic compounds. You know about it, students. Now that the number is very large, student, you are aware of it, and there is a property of the carbon due to which it forms such a large number of the compounds. There are properties, we will study that also. Do you have any idea about the abundance of the carbon, student, on the earth crust? Sometimes questions could be put in any way, student. Abundance, sometimes we say, what you mean by abundance, student? How much it is there? And there could be a question on that also, because once a line is written in NCRT, could become a question in the paper. It depends on the examiner, student. It is the 17th most abundant element by mass. 17th most abundant element, I am saying. Abundant element by mass, student. By mass. And is present in the earth crust and is also present in free as well as in combined state. Carbon. Can you tell me some free states of carbon? What are the free states of the carbon, student? Combined state.
Free state is diamond, coal.
Okay. Coal, graphite, diamond. How do you say that it is a free state? Can you give evidence for that?
Sir, because in these elements only carbon atoms are bonded together. No other element is present.
They are completely burnt, what will happen?
It will give carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide. Everything will burn out. Carbon dioxide. There is nothing beyond that. Is there anything? So, student, they are the free states of the carbon, free state of the carbon, and also present in combined state as how, student? You have seen metal carbonates. You are aware of calamine metal carbonates. You are aware of metal carbonate, student. Further, student, the atmosphere contains how much gas is there in the air? 0.03%. And in it also exists, student, in the form of hydrocarbons. Where are the hydrocarbons, student? Where are the hydrocarbons? All the petroleum products, you are aware of it.
Yes, sir.
Mixture of hydrocarbon. Petroleum products are mixtures of hydrocarbon, and in the combined form also, you know that they, it combines with hydrogen, student. It combines with oxygen, chlorine, sulfur, and also it forms large number of polymers and drugs, student. Organic compound. Chemistry is entirely the carbon containing compounds, and the living organisms which you have student contain carbon. What are the isotopes of carbon? How many isotopes you have? What is the most
C12 and
what is
C14.
important about the isotopes of carbon, student? What is carbon dating?
Carbon dating is the method of finding the age of fossils.
Old objects or whatever you are saying. Carbon dating. Which isotope of carbon is radioactive?
Uh,
This is a isotope and half life. Half life. How much you know the half life, student? 5770 years, students.
okay.
So carbon dating is a very important technique by which you are finding the age of the old plant, old trees or old skeletons or wherever this radioactive isotope is present. Student, carbon dating. Carbon dating is being used to find the age of the very old trees or old things, students, skeletons, which contain C14 isotope. And half-life means, student, these isotopes will always be there. Their amount keeps on decreasing, but they are not going to be zero, students. And another important thing is silicon is very important. Silicon. What do you know about silicon, student? Which which
It is a metalloid. Silicon is a metalloid.
second most abundant element on Earth? Second most abundant element on Earth. Which is the most abundant element on Earth?
Uh, Most abundant element.
Element I am saying, not the metal. Element I am saying.
Most abundant element is hydrogen.
Hydrogen? Sure.
Um, by mass.
On Earth, I am not saying the universe, student. Universe, I am not talking of the complete universe. I am talking of Earth, student. Earth. Universe and Earth are two different things, students.
Oxygen.
You know why I have put up this question? There was a question. Most abundant element on Earth, most abundant metal on Earth, most abundant element in the universe. See the point? One word is being changed. I told you questions will be like that. Now the story starts. You will start thinking, okay, doubt. And element of doubt exists, student, then we have to be sure what we are talking about. Each and every word is important, student. So by changing of one word, the answer changes. Element on Earth, element in universe, metal on Earth, non-metal on Earth. On what I'm talking, we have to be careful. That was the reason a question was put up to you. Why do we are putting questions to you, student? Questions because we want your mind to work, student, work, and mind only works when questions are put to the mind. And I try to say that in a line there are 10 words. At least read each and every word. That one word will be changed, student. It will look same. And that mind has got certain storage element. Okay. Student will say, oh, most abundant element. So second most abundant element I said is silicon, student. Oxygen on Earth, you are saying the first most abundant element. And in the universe, hydrogen, you are saying, because in most of the hydrogen atmosphere you have seen in sun and stars what is happening, student. The fusion reactions are taking place. And students, you will take more time in reading a question than answering a question. What is it? What it means to? Why I am saying that? I'm scratching my head, student. Why? Why do I say that? Are understanding a question is more important than before you answer the question, student. The problem is we don't understand the question, and therefore we will not give a correct answer. In all the competition, this is a very secret. The student don't understand the question, student, and then what answer I will give? And so you will need time to understand the question. They look so difficult, student. I mean, G exam. I mean, I can't understand the question, student. What answer I will give? So time is required, thinking is required, and if we can understand, then the problem will be solved, student. And that's what I'm trying to say. That line begins, but every word will be counted. Every word will be counted. Make sure what is the question, student. One word will be just taken off, another word will be added. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Silicon is 27.7% by mass, student. And in the nature, what are the in what forms it is present, student? Major where it is present, silicon.
In Earth's crust.
What are those? Silica, silicates. You know what are glass, student? Glass, ceramics, and cement. They contain silicates. There are only traces of germanium, student. Can you name an ore of tin? Ore of tin, student. Four choices are given to you. Can you name an ore of tin, students?
Ore of tin is cassiterite. Is cassiterite is one of the ores.
Guess what are the spelling, student? Cassie,
CASS.
right. What is the formula, student?
It has SnO2.
In one of the questions, student, they gave the name of the ore and certain formulas were given. And these formula look quite similar, student. The same metal was there in all of them. Now the question was, which is the correct answer? So pay attention to each and every word, student. That is my question to you. That our attention is very essential. Our thinking part will count. Lead. What is the ore of the lead, student?
Ore of lead was galena was one of the ores.
What is the formula of galena, students?
Uh, it is galena is PbS.
Okay. My purpose is to give a revision to you, students. When you are able to know and you write with your own hands, it helps you, a student. So carbon is a very, very versatile element, student, and you know that in living organisms, you have carbon, student, carbohydrates, proteins, all these compounds, student. There is a carbon present in them, student, and chemistry of plants and animals. Also, the carbon compounds are important because the energy, where you are getting energy, student, mainly from the fossil fuels, coal, oil, natural gas, they all contain carbon, student. Fossil fuels, the carbon, pure carbon and its compounds. And you have carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide gases that you are aware of, right? So carbon, you are aware of hydrocarbon, students, and you are aware of fuels, student. How much fuel is important to you? Without fuel, how will you get energy, student? So it is a very important source of energy, student. Energy. And here you see the coal, how it looks like coal, student. Black coal. You have seen that. So important point. Carbon family, student. What are those? Carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, and lead. And what is the story about them? You have metal, metalloids, which is a non-metal. Tell me, carbon is metal, non-metal, metalloid, what it is?
A non-metal.
Carbon, non-metal. Okay. And silicon, what is it? Metalloid. What is germanium?
Metalloid.
Metalloid.
Metal.
And what
Metalloid. Germanium is metalloid.
you are
Then
coming,
goes metal. Metal.
a very heavy metal, but mass number is quite high. So as you go, students, always you are changing from non-metallic to metallic behavior. What it means? What it means to us? Non-metallic to metallic behavior, student. What are the properties of metals and non-metals? These are electronegative, these are electropositive. They want electron, they will give electron, students. They will immediately release electron. That is what you are saying. And the properties of metals are already known to you. If they will form oxide, student, what type of oxides are formed by non-metal, students? What type of oxide?
Sir, your voice is breaking.
What type of oxides are formed by non-metals?
Sir, non-metals acidic.
You have CO, CO2, acidic. And what type of oxides are formed as you go down the group, student?
Acidic, amphoteric, and then basic.
Amphoteric and basic oxide, student. This is the nature of the compounds changes, student. The characteristic, the properties changes. So what type of compounds are expected in this case, student? Usually covalent or ionic. What will happen, student? Non-metals when they combine. Non-metals and non-metals, what type of compounds are they mostly? In general, student. If I have carbon and hydrogen, student, what type of compounds are expected, student?
Uh, Hydrocarbons for carbon and hydrogen.
So most of the times we are expecting these covalent compounds, sharing of electron is taking place. And as you will go down, if they are becoming metals, student, what metals? Metals will are electropositive. And if metals combine with non-metals, what type of compounds are going to be generally, student? Ionic. These are certain things which we are aware of, right? Is it that is what we see? And the interesting thing, except for lead, all carbon family element exist as different forms or allotropes. Allotropy is another important property, student. Allotropy, student. What is an allotropy, student? What are allotropes, student? Okay, basic question, basic question. What is allotropy, student?
Allotropy is the ability of some substances to exist in more than one form.
More than one form. That means what will be the difference? Difference will be where? Different structures will be there, student. Different structures. Can you give some example of allotropes of carbon, student?
Graphite, diamond,
Hmm. Buckyballs, what you call fullerenes, are important nowadays, student. C60, C60, 60 carbons. Similarly, you have seen allotropes of tin, gray tin, rhombic tin. So this property also exists, student. We will see some of the important of them. Okay. The important point is, student, you know where germanium and silicon are used, student. What are the where germanium and silicon are being used? If I say germanium and silicon, you know where they are being used, student, mainly? What are those semiconductor devices? Semiconductor devices, students. Transistors, transistors. So their importance has gone a lot over a period of time. Now we are coming to the electronic configuration, student. If I say carbon, student, what is which period is carbon? Atomic number is 6. What is the period, student? Number?
second period.
Second period. So what will be the general configuration? NS2 valence shell configuration. Group 14.
Group 14, NS2, NP4.
14 minus 10. There will be 4 valence electrons, you are saying. So what you have, student, then? 2s2, 2p2. Period number is 2. Period number is 2. 2s2. Then what will be left? 1s2, student. And 1s2 is nothing but helium, noble gas. So you can write helium 2s2, 2p2. And if I take, if magic number is how much? How much you will add? 8, 14.
14,
Period number 3,
3,
3s2, 3p2.
3p2.
Then the next noble gas after helium, neon,
Neon.
atomic number 10. 10 plus 2, 12 plus 2, 14. Then germanium, carbon, silicon, germanium, student, period number 4. Period number 4, student. ठीक है? Period number 4. What is the atomic number going to be, student? What is the
It
magic
would
number?
be it would be 32
32. Fourth period means what?
plus 18. Yes, sir.
4s2, 4p2, student. And if I add the next noble gas, helium, neon, argon,
Argon.
18. How many? 18 plus 2, 20 plus 2,
20 plus 2, 22.
22. Then what? How many electrons you are less? 10.
10.
So 3d10.
3D10.
Okay, something important. What is important, student, when I discuss these things? What is important? Everything stepwise, student. Okay. What we are talking, student, here. You have another, where is my colored pen? Oh, I don't know what is this. Achha, not used that. So what we are having NS2, NP2, okay. 3D, this field now. There will be a consequence of this field 3D subshell. 3D subshell. ठीक है? Further, how much I should add student? Plus 18, what it will become?
Uh, It
50,
will 50.
10, fifth period, 5s2,
5s2, 5p2.
5p2, then how much? 18 plus 18, 36.
It
Helium
will be
and argon,
krypton.
krypton. How much? 36 plus 2, 38 plus 2, 40, then
40 and then 4d10.
4d10. Okay. Filled, filled 4d,
4d subshell.
because there will be a consequence of that in the atomic radius. We'll see that. After that, student, how much you have to add, student?
32 has to be added, so 82.
82. That is our lead, student.
Lead.
So lead, which period is this? Sixth period.
Sixth period. 6s2, 6p2.
Sixth period. Period number sixth. Okay, sixth period. Period number. So what happens then? Helium, neon. Then what do you get? Xenon. Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, student. What is the atomic number of xenon, students?
It will be 54. It will be 54.
Uh, huh? How much we are adding? Xenon. 36 plus 32.
22.
How much is that? 58.
48. 48.
68. How many? 6 to 8. 38. Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon. 36 plus 18. It's what is then? What is the outermost? 6s2, 6p2. How much? 22. 72. This is not the correct. What do you have? 36 plus 18. Where is that? Gone. Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and neutron, students. This was 36 plus 18, 54. So what is happening? 6s2, how much you have then? What will be the 5d10, and then how many? 4f14.
4f14.
So we have 4f and 5d effect, student. So that means here, as you go down, student, there what you are getting down the group, student, the valence shell electronic configuration, valence shell, the valence shell electron configuration ns2 np2. ठीक है? The core inner core of electronic configuration, inner core of electronic configuration differs, student, due
Yes.
to the filling of the d and f subshell.
F
ठीक है?
orbitals.
So
Yes, sir.
from carbon to silicon, no problem. But when you go from silicon to lead, What is happening? Silicon to lead, student. When you go from silicon to lead, what is happening? There are filled, there are students filled. Just a minute, student. Let me check it. Okay.
इसलिए रहे ओके बाय
What is happening? There are from silicon to lead, student. There are filled D and F subshells. And you know the poor
Shielding effect.
shielding or screening of D and F. The Z effective will become
It will
more.
become more.
So the result will be that, student, the size increase will become less. What will be observed, student? The small, there will be small increase in radius. Increase in radius, student. There will be small increase in radius from where? From silicon to lead due to D and F effect. What we call as F is the lengthened contraction, which we have learned. The effect of the D and F, student. All right. So we have noting everything, student, because everything can be a question in the paper, student. Anything can be a question in the paper. Further, student, what we are experiencing here, students, that certain properties which we want to study. What properties we want to study, students? Certain properties which we want to study. What are the properties we study for all the cases, students? You are aware of it. Electronic configuration, we know how to write. Any doubt here?
No, sir.
Okay, because the same procedure will be followed in other. We are using period number, and then period number is the outermost shell number. The number of shells is equal to number of periods, and then we follow the inner core, student, where the D, as you go down the group heavier elements, you will see the filled D and F subshell. So that will be poor screening and will attract the outer S electron more strongly toward itself and will result in what we call as an inert pair effect. Inert pair effect. Electronic configuration, you know, student. Covalent radius. What is the value of the covalent radius, student? 77 to 118.
Okay.
What am I saying? Carbon carbon covalent radius how much? Picometer. I am putting carbon how much? Picometer. How much? 77. Silicon how much? 118. And what is this one, student? Germanium how much? 122. Tin 140. PB 146. What trend you see? Increase. ठीक है? Why increase?
Yes, sir.
Why increase? You already know the reason. Addition of
New subshells.
new shell. Subshells are inside the shells. ठीक है? And inside the subshell you have orbitals in which the electrons are there. Increase, addition of new shell, you are saying. But here you see a large increase. What do you see? Large increase. Carbon to silicon. Increase is 118 minus 77. How much is that large increase? If I subtract, how much it is coming? 141 picometer. And but as you go from silicon to germanium, how much? 140 minus 122. How much is that? 28?
28.
28 or 18? 18.
18.
And then
118.
further, as you go from this value decreases and further you see what you see further student the as you go further silicon to lead, how much increase is there? Very small. As you see 122, 140, and even in tin to lead 146 minus 140, only 6 picometer. So the reason, what is the reason student? Because of the presence of completely filled
D and F subshells.
D and F orbitals or subshells. ठीक है? This is the reason. So covalent radius. Why did I talk of covalent radius? Why I didn't talk of ionic radius, student? Tell me. They are forming covalent compounds.
Covalent
We
compounds.
told you how do we determine the radius, student? Radius of an atom cannot be determined. Only when it is forming some molecular compound, we determine that by using X-ray and diffraction techniques. So the covalent bonding is there. So we will find the covalent radius. That is the distance between the two atoms. Covalent distance between two atoms, and then we divide student and find the radius, covalent radius. Because experimental methods have to be used for finding the radius. And you're not determining the radius of an isolated atom, student. Because isolated atom, there is no boundary, exact boundary for the electrons outside the nucleus. You know the radius is determined by the electrons outside the nucleus, student. Mass is determined by the particles inside the nucleus. These things we have started understanding. That's my point. Okay, ionic radius, all right. No, not any issue in this. As you see, in ionic radii increasing down the group, student. And what is happening to the ionization energy, student? Ionization energy. So covalent radius, you have seen how there is an increase, but there is a less small increase in radius,
Okay.
student, when you go to the heavier elements. Heavier elements, we always say that what is the reason? D subshell and F subshell completely filled. This is called the D effect, and the lanthanide contraction F effect. Ionization enthalpy
Okay.
of group 14, student. If I compare it with group 13, tell me which will have higher ionization enthalpy. I'm talking of first
Uh,
ionization enthalpy of
First ionization enthalpy will be higher
group 14.
for group 14.
Why?
Sir, group 14 is greater than group 13. It should be.
13. Okay, what is the reason?
Sir, because as we move towards the right of periodic table, the nuclear charge goes on increasing, so it takes more energy to remove the electron.
The size contracts, student, in the period, across a period. We
Size
already told.
contracts, yes, sir. So
So,
charge increases, force
so size is
increases.
increasing, and when the size decreases, student, what will happen? The outer electron is more nearer to the nucleus, therefore experiences more stronger nuclear attractive force. Ionization enthalpy decreases. What happens if we go down the group student?
It will decrease.
General, we are saying ionization inversely proportional to size of the atom. But size of the atom, you have seen there is a variation from tin to lead student. What happened? What happened, student? The there is a poor shielding. ठीक है? Poor shielding. So what will be the result of that, student? There is a small decrease from silicon to germanium and slight increase in delta from tin to lead. This is a consequence of the intervening D and of subshell.
Subshells.
That effect will be visible in the values also. Let me see the value, student. This is my first ionization enthalpy. What are the units? Kilojoules per mole.
Kilojoule per
1082.
mole.
This is a large variation because the size also you see large. And then small. First, this is my first ionization. Small, and then see these values are not that. And here you see there is some almost little more than that due to the intervening D and F subshells. Second ionization enthalpy, students. Third and fourth. So you can see that these values are increasing. First, second, third, fourth. 1086, 2352, 462. What has happened, student? Here, what type of things were there? Carbon 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. So one electron is removed. Second, and when it comes third, student, this is coming from more inner 2s orbital. So there is a large increase. And the same next electron. These s orbitals are very close to the nucleus. The values are quite high. So because carbon is very small, carbon has very high, large values of the ionization enthalpy. You can see carbon as compared to other student. 4 ionization enthalpy of carbon is very high. That's why carbon cannot form. It will be carbon cannot lose 4 electrons, student. It cannot lose 4 electrons, and it cannot also add 4 electrons because it has a very small size. There will be strong electron repulsion, students, and that energy 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 very high. So covalent bonds, all of them have high ionization enthalpies, as you can see, student. 1 2 3 4, and whatever effects are, they are related with the sizes, student, which we have seen. What is about the electronegativity, student? Carbon electronegativity 2.5, and this is decreasing down further. Their electronegativity values are low, as you can see. Low values of electronegativity. Which is the most electronegative element? Tell me. Fluorine.
Fluorine.
What is the value which we gave you, student, on the Pauling scale?
4.
4.0 Pauling scale, student, we gave you. And one way to remember was this is group 17. Fluorine 4.5. Then group 16 oxygen. How much I said? Minus 0.5 will be 4. Then nitrogen minus 0.5, 3.5. So hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. So carbon value, how much electronegativity we are giving? Fluorine, oxygen, group 14. This is 2.5. 2.5. Somewhere we have given a table of that actually. Some method is there to just see the differences. Carbon and hydrogen are quite close. Hydrogen is how much? Carbon is 2.5, then I think hydrogen was given 2.1. These values are important, students. Sometimes we try to correlate and see the variation in electronegativity and which is more electronegative element and which is less
Okay.
electronegative elements. By this way, we compare their electronegativities. It may be 3 and it may be um, 3.5 or 3 or 2.5 like this.
Okay.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17 like that. Then there's some maybe 3.5 then 3.0 or something like this, zero point 0.5 difference. Anyway, now I don't have the exact number. You can see the tables are there. So we see what we find in the electronegativity. Small size, the element of this group are slightly more electronegative than if I compare with group 13, which will have more electronegativity, group 14 or group 13, which is more electronegative, group 14 or group 13. This will have more because as you go across the period, you already know what happens to their electronegativity values, what happens to your electronegativity value. You are aware of that, student. Okay. What else we have in the properties? Student, physical properties. Density is mass per unit volume. As you go down the group, mass increases, so density is increasing more, student. Here you see a variation, but further it increases. What densities are defined in terms of mass per unit volume. So more increase in mass, so density increases usually as you go down the group. Here melting point differences, see very 4.34373, student, is a very high melting point, and which for diamond, you know, diamond has the highest melting point in terms of carbon here, 4373 Kelvin 163. Then melting points are decreasing. This has slight increase. The melting point depends on what factors. The inter attractive forces, wherever strong covalent bonds are formed, structure the crystal lattice, three-dimensional covalent bonds are formed, then it will have very high melting points. We know about it already. Melting and boiling points of group, melting and boiling points of group 14. If I compare with group 13, what is expected? If I compare with group 13, what trend is expected, student? Which will have higher? Group 14 will have higher because of their smaller size and the type of crystal lattices they are forming. So forces will be between them will be stronger, student, as you can see. If I see the oxidation state, student, oxidation state is important here. Oxidation states we always discuss, student. Oxidation states. You have NH2, NP2, student. So if 4 electrons are removed, what we expect? Plus 4 and plus 2 oxidation states. Highest oxidation state possible, plus 4. So these are the common oxidation states. If I remove 2 electrons from P, then 2 are left here, plus 2 and plus 4, plus 2 and plus 4. So, for example, in the case of compounds, you already know CCl4, student. What is the oxidation state of carbon in CCl4? Chlorine is -1. What will be the value of this? Plus 4.
+4.
Similarly, SiCl4, student, plus 4. SnO2, student, -2,
+4.
plus 4. So plus 4, and also we have plus 2 compound, students. plus 2 oxidation states. As you go down the group, they are becoming more important. For example, PbO, what is oxidation state here? Plus 2 minus 2. So plus 2. Tin chloride plus 2. So unlike metals which always have positive oxidation state, student, carbon can vary from -4 to +4. Interesting. This is a point to be noted, student, about carbon. Metals, we were discussing metals were only positive oxidation states. They are losing electron, but carbon shows -4 to +4, students. Wide range of oxidation states. Carbon +4 to -4, student. Out of carbon and hydrogen, hydrogen is electronegative 2.1, carbon is 2.5.
Okay.
So this is more electronegative. So in CH4, what happens? CH4. If I see the, for example, there was a question on the oxidation states of carbon because there's large oxidation states, as you can see. So here you see carbon. If I write CH4, student, how do I find the oxidation state? CH4 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. Then what will be carbon? -4. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
If I consider this compound H H CH3 H, what will be the oxidation number of this in carbon here? What is hydrogen? +1 plus 1. Both are carbon 0. This, then what is this? What will be this? Both carbon 0. Then what is this? -3. And if I have a compound like this, double bond, ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
If I have a double bond, student, what is the story here? Double bond. If I put hydrogen here, what will happen? This carbon, what will be the oxidation state of this carbon, student? There are two carbons, 1 and carbon 2. What about carbon 1? What is the oxidation number? This is +1, +1, +1 and +1, student. Then this carbon and carbon 0, both are carbon. What will be this? -2. This is -2. And if I take, student, I'm taking this compound. If I take this, student, what will happen? Hydrogen is what? +1,
+1.
+1. This oxygen
-2.
is not -2. They is forming two bonds. If oxygen is double bond, student, this is a single bond. This is OH.
Okay.
OH. This is -1 here.
-1. Okay.
-1 because one bond is here, one bond is here. -2, but this is +1, na?
Yes, sir. Yes.
This is +1, then
Yes, sir.
-2 and +1. It becomes -1.
-1.
Then what will be this? +1 and -0. This
0.
is the oxidation state is -1. Carbon -1. Important, student. -1. What will happen here? Carbon triple bond carbon CH3. CH3. If I see the oxidation state of this is carbon, this is carbon. Then what will be this? Both carbon 0, 0, 0. Okay. So that carbon in the 0 oxidation state. 0 oxidation state. So now what we have shown, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0. And if I take student this compound, what is this? Aldehyde.
Yes, sir.
When we say alcohol to aldehyde, if I say CH3 OH goes to CH3 C double bond OH, student, what is the change in oxidation number? This is minus 1, and carbon here is in which oxidation state? Plus 3 and minus 1. This is carbon, here is what one? Minus 2. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And what is the story here? This is oxygen. This oxygen is minus 2. This is plus 1. This is 0. Then what is the oxidation state of carbon? Minus 1. Then it is plus 1. Plus 1. Here, what has happened to this carbon, student? This carbon, I think this is CH3 CHO now, then there should be CH3 CH2 alcohol
Yes,
to
sir.
aldehyde. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Then what is the oxidation number of this? This oxygen, if I write it like this, H, some देखो, this is the things to be learned.
Okay.
CH3. You are saying minus 1, plus 1 and plus 1. So this will be minus 1. ठीक है?
Okay.
Got minus 1.
Okay, sir.
And what is this? Minus 2
Minus 2.
and plus 1. This carbon, carbon 0. Then minus 1. Then what is this? Plus 1. Plus 1. Minus 1 to plus 1 oxidation state. How many electrons are involved then? How many electrons? Minus 1 to 0 to plus 1. 2 electrons.
Yes,
Oxidation.
sir.
What is oxidation? Increase in oxidation number. How many electrons go there? 2 electrons.
2.
Got it?
Okay.
Just wanted to show certain things. That's why we're discussing. And this is, we have got carbon plus 1 oxidation state, student. And if I have C double bond O, CH3, this is my ketone.
Yes, sir.
What is the oxidation number of this carbon, carbon 0? Then minus 2, then this is plus 2. ठीक है?
Okay.
Carbon plus 2. And if I have C double bond O, OH, student. Now I'm talking organic chemistry compound, some organic. I'm giving example of that, but they are very important. A student don't know how to calculate these oxidation number. There was a mistake in that. So I've taken that point here. Tell me what is the oxidation number of carbon here, students? Minus 2. This is minus 1. दो bond है, single. So this is 0. Then this is plus 3.
0 plus 3.
Plus 3. Oh, see? Oh, we get carbon. What happens in CCl4, students? Halogen, minus 1, minus 1.
Minus 1.
Then
plus 4.
plus 4. Okay. So see, this was a very good, thing, because a question was given on what is the oxidation number of carbon in alcohol, student. All mistakes were done. See how I calculate? Clear?
Yes, sir.
All right, then we are closing class here, and we will meet you in our next class. Some of the important points we are discussing all the time, students, that we have seen how much variety of oxidation state is there. Carbon is showing how much? Minus 4 to plus 4. Large number of oxidation states of the carbon we have shown you in this topic. Okay, then we will see you in our next class.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, good night.